guys, welcome back to Code is Cleans. In today's video, I will show you how to make the Google Chrome's Dinosaur game. As you can see over here, I have the Google Chrome Dinosaur game on my screen right now. This game pops up whenever we don't have data or internet on our computer or phone. You understand? So whenever I tap the screen, can see the game plays. I'll show you how to make this game. It's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So here's my own version of the game. Check this is my own. Here's my own version of the Google Chrome's game. So refresh the page. You can see the obstacle is coming. Okay, up. Perfect. I was able to up. Oh yeah, up. Okay, let's see one more time. Oh no, I like. So you can see now, game pause whenever there's a collision between a dinosaur and obstacle. I'm going to show you how to make this game yourself. We are going to set it right now. So I think I need to close the Google Chrome. Since I'm not using it. Okay, now so let's get into the video right away now. So without further ado, please subscribe to my channel so you not miss my future video. Please do subscribe to my channel. Code is Cleansing. We are getting started right now. Okay, it's going to create a container. I'm going to say div ID. Div ID should be equal to, let's call this container. Okay, after that, we're going to create some div. We're going to create a div for the dinosaur. Div ID should be equal to dinosaur. So I'm going to put in my dinosaur image inside this div. So img slash, I named it. So img refers to the folder where the image is saved, right? So I called it dino1.jpg. That is the name of our dinosaur image. dino1.jpg. Okay, I'm gonna create another div for the obstacle. Div ID should be equal to, I call this obstacle, right? Obstacle. So I'm gonna put in the image for this obstacle. Image slc equal to img, which represent the folder the images are saved in. Img. I call the name of the obstacle ton.jpg. Understand? So that we are done with our HTML. So let's go to the CSS and do some work there. So I'm going to remove the padding and the margin from the window. I'm going to say box sizing, border box. Okay, now I need to style my body. I'm going to say body going to take up a height of 100 VH. That's the height of our computer screen. I'm going to say display flex. I want to place the container at the center of the screen vertically. I want to place my container at the center of our screen vertically and horizontally. That's why I'm putting the display flex, the align item, and the justify content. Yeah. So after that, I need to go and style my container with the width of 800 pixels. 800 pixels. A height of 300 pixels and a border of 2px solid black. So let's continue. So let's open our work with light server and see what we've done so far. So it's coming up. So let's continue. So we need to style our container. Let's style our dinosaur rather. Dinosaur. Gonna create the width of, let's say, 50 pixels. The height of, let's say, 100 pixels. So we're gonna style our obstacle. We're gonna give it a width of, let's say, 30 pixels. A height of 60 pixels. So we're going to style the image. We're going to give the image img. We're going to give it the width of 100% and the height of 100%. What this does is that whichever container our image is going to enter, it's going to occupy the whole of the container. You understand? That's what it does. So let's continue. Okay, hope you're getting something out of this. So we have the height, we have the width. You understand? Okay, now so we need to see how our work looks like. Just save your work. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, perfect. But as you can see, our dinosaur is so slim. So let's increase the width of the dinosaur. Let's give it 80 pixels. Oh, there's a prop. Okay, I think it's okay now. So I need to position the dinosaur and the obstacle. So I'm going to add a position to our container. So we'll be adding a position relative to the container, position relative. I'm going to add a position of absolute to my obstacle and the dinosaur, position of absolute. Okay, do the same thing for the obstacle, position absolute. So whatever position I add to the obstacle and to the dinosaur, they are going to act in respect of the container. Understand? Now, so I want to make the dinosaur come down to the bottom. It should be on the bottom of the container, not at the top here. So I'm going to give the dinosaur a bottom 0 pixels. So save and let's see. You can see it has come down. So I want it to also come a bit forward towards the right. So I'm going to give it the left of 100 pixels. And note the left, all these properties, bottom left, they work with the position up. They work. They must be positioned on your element. If there's no position there, they will not work. You understand? So let's save. You can see now it has come a bit forward. A space of 100 pixels have been added in between the left side of the container and the dinosaur. So I want to bring down this obstacle to the right side. You should cling over here and be at the bottom. So I'm going to do that also. I'm going to come down to the obstacle. I'm going to give it the right. I'm going to say right of, let's say, 0 pixels. So I'm going to cling to the right. I'm going to give it the bottom of 0 pixels. Save. Perfect. You can see now it's now working. So I want to create an animation on this obstacle that enables it move continuously. That enables the obstacle to move continuously. So I'm going to create this animation beneath. I'm going to say at keyframes move. So at 0% represents the starting point of an animation, right? At 0%, our obstacle is at the right hand side. 0% is linked to the right hand side, which is you can be say. So this is the at the beginning of the animation. Our obstacle is has a property right with value of 0 pixels from here. So I want to now say at 100% at the end of this animation, 100%, you should have a property of a right property of 770 pixels. You might be wondering why do I use 770 pixels? Currently, the width of the obstacle is 30%, 30 pixels, and so I want the animation that makes it move from this point to 770 pixels. And it's going to move from this endpoint down to the starting point, because 770 plus 30, 770 here plus this 30 is 800, and the width of our container is 800. So let's save and let's go and add animation to the obstacle. Come down here and say animation should be move 4 seconds. So once we make this animation continuous, we're going to say infinite and make it look so smooth. Say linear. So not this. There's a mistake somewhere. It is not moving. So I said at keyframe move 0%. What could be the problem? Move 4 seconds, infinite animation. It should work. Okay, I've seen the mistake. I didn't spell the infinite properly. So infinite. So save. You can see. Let's see. You see it's moving continuously. Perfect. So we need to add an animation to the dinosaur that enables it up. Let's add the animation to the dinosaur. So let's get another animation over here. We're gonna call this animation at keyframes up. At keyframes up. So at 0%, which is the starting point, our dinosaur sits on the container, the bottom of the container, bottom 0 pixels. So let's add another. So let's say at 70%. This at 70%. Let me correct my spelling over here. It should be at keyframes. At keyframes. So at 70%, we need to also up to a certain height. We're going to say bottom should be let's give it a value of, let's say 100 pixels, and at the end of the animation, which is 100%, I'm gonna say bottom should be 200 pixels. So we're gonna add this animation with JavaScript. But first of all, I want to add animation so we can see. Let's say animation should be equal to up 1 second ease in. So ease in to save your work, and let's see what's here. So when we refresh our page, you can see it's up. So, okay, but I want to add this with JavaScript. So that I want to add this animation with JavaScript. So whenever I click on the window, the dinosaur ups. You understand? So let's go do that right away. I'm gonna create a class called up and add the animation to this class. So I'm gonna add this class, the dinosaur, with JavaScript. Sorry, let's paste Ctrl V. So perfect. Now I think we are through with our HTML and CSS. Let's go to the JavaScript to continue with the project. I'm gonna say let dinosaur equals to documents does get elements by ID dinosaur. I'm gonna say let obstacle equals to documents does get element by ID obstacle. So I want to add an event listener to the window. The window is the browser. This whole browser, the whole white screen is the window. So we're going to say window.add event listener. Click. I'm going to say jump. We're going to call this function jump. So whenever we click on the window, this function runs. Function jump runs. So function jump. I'm going to say dinosaur dot class list. Want to add the class of up to the dinosaur. Class list dot add up. Okay, let's see. Click on the window. You see it up whenever I click on the window. But see, I'm clicking again. It's not upping. Why? That's because the class list has already been added. It has been added, so it can be added more than once. So I'm going to write another function that whenever I click on the window, the class list of up is added to the dinosaur, and after a second, the class list is removed. So if I click again, the class list is added. After a second, it is removed. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. I'm going to say set timeout. I'm going to create a set timeout over here. So set timeout. I'm going to write this function. So this function runs every 1 second, every 1,000 milliseconds, which is equal to 1 second. I'm going to say dinosaur dot class list dot remove up. You might be wondering why it is 1 second. From the CSS here, the animation is to last for 1 second, which is this up class. It is to last for 1 second. So just save and let's see. See, whenever I click it ups, whenever I click it ups. Okay, we're almost through with the Google with the dinosaur game. We're almost done with it now. So we want to check now. We want to know when there's a collision between the dinosaur and the obstacle. How are we gonna know? We are gonna know when. So we will know if there's a collision if this dinosaur does not up. If the dinosaur remains at this point, it does not up. If it does not up and the obstacle comes and touches it, that means there's a collision. Understand? If the dinosaur does not jump and the obstacle comes, this obstacle that is moving comes and touches the dinosaur, or they come in contact with each other, that means there's a collision. So how am I going to know? So I'm going to know by getting the top value. of our obstacle. I want to know the top value between this obstacle and the point and this container. I want to know the top value. I want to know this the width in between our dinosaur and the container's top. So if the width, so let's assume that the width in between them is 100. If the width in between them is 100, if the width is 100, that means the dinosaur is not jumping, it's stationary. For example, if the dinosaur is jumping, the width will shrink, it's going to be smaller. For example, if it jump, you can see the space is going to decrease. So let's say the width is 100, the width between the dinosaur and top of our container is 100, it remains 100. That means the dinosaur is not jumping. So we're also going to we're also going to get the left property of our obstacle. So once you know what the left property of our obstacle is when it gets to this dinosaur point, the front of our dinosaur, once you know the left property of our obstacle. So once the obstacle gets to this point in front of the dinosaur and the dinosaur does not jump, that means they collided. So we're gonna pause the animation, just like the one we did over here, right? Just like this one now. You can see, just watch. See, if the dinosaur does not up, you see there's a collision. So now we are going to do the same thing over here. So let's go and write that function with our JavaScript. Let's do that right away. I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this function going to run every 10 milliseconds. Set interval. It's going to run every 10 milliseconds. Set interval. I'm going to call this function check collision. You have to check for collision. Okay, I'm going to say 10. So we're going to run every 10 milliseconds. We're going to call this function. For now, I don't want this to. For now, I'm going to comment that. I'm going to say function check collision. Okay, check collision. So I want to get the space in between the dinosaur on the top of our container. So let's call this variable. Let's dinosaur top. Dinosaur top equal to window dot get computed style of dinosaur dot get the computed style of dinosaur dot get property value of the top of our dinosaur. You understand? So let me just console.log this out for you to see. Console.log dinosaur top. So let's call our function. So we can close this up. Let's call our function check collision. So save and come over to the browser and F12. You can see we know this is the space in between the dinosaur and the top of our container, 197 pixels, right? So let's also once also know the value of the left property of our obstacle when it gets to this point. So let's go and pause this animation. We need to pause the animation. Okay, there's the obstacle. We need to pause animation on the obstacle. So it will stop moving. Ctrl X. Okay, the animation has been paused. So once to get the value of the left property of our obstacle when it is exactly on this point. When it's on this point and dinosaur is not jumping, that means there is a collision, right? So let's get the left property of our obstacle. So let's go do that right away. Come down to the JavaScript, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Call this obstacle left. Obstacle left. Left window does get computer style. It's going to change this to obstacle and no longer dinosaur. Obstacle and change this to left. So let's console.log obstacle left, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Call this obstacle left. So let's see what obstacle left gives. You can see obstacle left is 767 pixels from this point. The left property of our obstacle through to this point, from this point to the end, to the starting point of the container, the value of the left property of our obstacle is 767 pixels from this point. But once you get the value from this point, when it is at the front of this, when it touches this dinosaur, once you get the property, the value of the left property when it touches the dinosaur, So we're gonna keep on. So we're gonna come down to our CSS. You know, the right says 0 pixels of our obstacle. The value of the right property is 0 pixels. That is why it is linked to the right side of the container. So what do I want to do now? I want to add some more. Let me increase. Let me say 400. Save and let's see. You can see the property has moved. You can see a space of 400 has been added in between the property and the ending point of our container, right? So let's keep on adding more. Let's say 800. See, 800 is going to be too much. You can see it has gone outside. No, let's make this 600. Save your work. Oh, 600 is very, very close. Let's make it 610. Okay, let's say 620. Let's try 620. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm doing. I just hope you guys are understanding. Perfect. This is what I really want. Now you can see now. This shows that this shows that the obstacle and the dinosaur are already coming in contact. So I want to get the value. What do you want to do now? I want to get the value of what? I want to get the value of the left property of our obstacle at this point, at this exact point. You see, so we're gonna do this to refresh your page. It shows 767 pixels from here. So just refresh the page. You can see it shows now 147 pixels. Whenever it's at this point, so the value is 147 pixels, right? So whenever the obstacle is at this point, want to get the value of its left property. You understand? So if the obstacle is at this point and the dinosaur is not jumping, that means they are colliding, right? Okay, so let's go and write down our if statements over here. I'm gonna say, so let's go down over and say if dinosaur top is equal to 197. Okay, we need to do something else now. You can see from here, from our browser, we have 197. Okay, it was showing 197 pixels on the console. 197 pixels, right? Let me just comment this to show what I'm talking about. 197 pixels on the console. But here we are comparing it with if dinosaur top is equal to 197. So we need to remove that PS at the back of the 197. Now we're going to do that. We're going to put this inside a pass int to convert everything into an integer and remove anything, any form of alphabet or any form of letter. So do the same thing over here, convert it into an integer, pass int. Pass int. You can see now the pixels are gone. Okay, let's continue. I'm gonna say if dinosaur top is equal to 197, that means the dinosaur is not jumping. And now say and if obstacle left is lesser than or equal to, what's the value again? 147 pixels. If it is equal to 147 pixels, that means the obstacle has gotten to this point as is touching is exactly at the front of the dinosaur, right? You understand? So if it is lesser than 147, that means the obstacle has gone past the dinosaur towards the left. So if this condition over here is true, we want to pause the animation on the obstacle. We're going to say obstacle dot style dot animation play states. Dot animation play state should be equal to post. Understand? So let's see. So we need to go back to our CSS and add back this animation. I also need, I see this 6. Okay, let's see and put this back. So let's put this back to 0 pixels. So save your work and go back to the browser. Okay, this is the previous one we've done, the example I showed you earlier. So I need to open my own with live server. So open this current one with live server. So live server should be up now. So here's our current now. So let's see. You see, it stopped. You can see now once they collided, the animation on the obstacle stops now. So let's play again. So we need to up. So up. You see, they did not collide, but the obstacle still stopped. It's not supposed to be so. It's because of what I said. Yeah, I said that if the left property of if the value of the left property of the obstacle is equal to 147 or lesser than 147, the animation should stop, right? Okay, I need to. So as you see now, the obstacle is already. If the obstacle is at this point, it has gone past dinosaur towards the left. That means the obstacle is lesser than 147. So I want to make sure that it should not. I want to make sure that this obstacle stops. The animation stops when they are in contact, and not when it has not, and not just when it is lesser or equal to when they are in contact. You see, so I'm going to do something over here now. I'm going to say and put another and I'm going to say another and obstacle left is greater than 100, and obstacle left is greater than 100. You can see from here it says obstacle left is lesser than or equal to 147. So it's going to be it's going to keep going down, but it's not going to exceed 100 for this to happen, for the animation to be paused. It's not going to be lesser than 100. You understand? So let's see again. Let's Control X and see. So up as it was before, it should have paused. You can see, let's see now in the coming contact it's gonna pause. Perfect. You can see it stopped due to that, due to they are coming in contact with each other. So through this, we are through this game right now. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. If you Please, if you like this game, smash the like button for me. Subscribe to my channel and drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to Code with Clinton. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you did. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed and bye bye.